Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the Jackson Hole Hootenanny on this, the 20th day of July in the year
year
2020.
2020.
We're really excited to be here tonight and really excited to have you all with us. It turns out that tonight is indeed the 1200th hoot of all time. That's 1,200, Amy.
Wow, that's wonderful, Ben.
So many
So
hootenannies.
many.
This is also the 17th virtual Hootenanny. We're incredibly excited that you could join us. We are your hosts for this evening. This is Amy Lorenz, and I am Ben Rossiter. We have a few rules at the Hootenanny, Amy.
Do we?
We do. What are those rules?
Wow, you put me on the spot. Haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
Well, the first rule
Uh-huh.
is that
Good rule.
is
The
that
first rule.
is that we have to be quiet because we're in a concert setting.
But Amy, everyone's listening from home. Why do they have to be quiet?
Well, you don't have to be quiet now. You're at home. You just
Oh.
mute yourself and dance around as much as you want.
Well, the second rule is that no one can smoke cigarettes. But they're at home.
That's right, Ben.
Yeah.
If you're at home, you can do whatever you want. There
That's
are no
right.
rules.
The third rule is that if he is here, Bill Briggs starts the Hootenanny. Unfortunately, Bill is not here this evening, and so we are going to open tonight with a great friend of the Hootenanny.
Long time there.
This is Lily Robert, known for her wonderful music and her cowgirl jazz. Lily, take it away.
Thank you, Ben and Amy, and thank you for hosting us tonight. I'm very honored to be starting out. I miss Bill, but I will do my best to start us out. I'm going to sing a very old song. It's probably one of the first real live stars that I saw in person. It was at a little smoky club in Phoenix, Arizona. The group is called the Lovin' Spoonful, and this is a whimsical song that I am going to do on the uke. What a day for a daydream. Yeah. What a day for a daydream. Custom made for a daydreaming gal. I'm lost in a daydream, dreaming about my bundle of joy. And even if time ain't really on my side, it's one of those days for taking a walk outside. I'm blowing the day to take a walk in the sun and fall on my face on somebody's new mowed lawn. I've been having a sweet dream, been dreaming since I woke up today. It's starring me in my sweet dream. 'Cause he's the one who makes me feel this way. And even if time is passing me by a lot, I couldn't care less about the dues you say I got. Tomorrow I'll pay the dues for dropping my load, a pie in the face for being a sleepy mojo. Ba-da-doo, ba-da-doo-da. We-da-dee-ba-dee-da. We-da-dee-ba-da-doo. Ba-da-doo, ba-da-doo-doo-doo. We-da-dee-ba-da-doo-doo-doo. And you can be sure that if you're feeling alright, a daydream will last long into the night. Tomorrow at breakfast you may pick up your ears. Oh, you may be daydreaming for 1,000 years. Where's Tasha when I need her? She's a great whistler. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's a What a Daydream, What a Day for a Daydreaming by the Lovin' Spoonful.
Thank you so much, Lily. I love it. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Mr. Clint Sweat. Though I believe Clint often spends his summers in California. Clint, are you here right now? Is that right? You in Jackson?
I am. I've been here about 3 weeks and be here for a couple more months. So I'm really happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, take it away.
All right. I am last week. 2 weeks ago. I missed last week. I did a Grateful Dead song. It was from the album Working Man's Dead. It's the 50th anniversary of that album this year. And here is another one. It's probably, I think, one of the best songs on that album. It's called Uncle John's Band. Well, the first days are the hardest days, don't you worry anymore. 'Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Think this through with me, let me know your mind. Whoa, well, I want to know is, are you kind? It's a buck dancer's choice, my friends, better take my advice. You know all the rules by now, the fire from the ice. Will you come with me? Won't you come with me? Whoa, well, I want to know, will you come with me? God damn what I declare, have you seen the like? Their walls are filled with cannonballs. The motto is don't tread on me. Come here, Uncle John's band by the riverside. Come on along or go alone. He's come to take his children home. It's the same story the crow told me. It's the only one you know. Like the morning sun you come, and like the wind you go. Ain't no time to waste, barely time to hate. Whoa, well, I want to know, how does the time go? I live in a silver mine and I call it Beggar's Tune. I got me a violin, I beg you call the tune. Anybody's choice, I can hear your voice. Whoa, well, I want to know, how does the song go? Come here, Uncle John's band by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come here, Uncle John's band, playing to the tide. Come on along or go alone. He's come to take his children home.
Yay, Clint!
Thank you, Amy. Thanks,
good
everybody.
To see you.
It's nice to see you. Miss you guys so much.
Us too. Right back at ya.
One of these days.
I know. One of these days.
All right.
All right. Next up, we have someone that I know a little bit. Mr. David Rossiter. And David has been playing at the Hoot for a very long time. And he has played with his son Ben, who was just sitting to my right, and there's his hand. And David's down there in Tucson. David and Pam, Pam, are you singing tonight?
A little bit.
So excited. Well, then I will introduce David and Pam Rossiter playing together. So lovely. They're down in Tucson. How's the weather down there these days?
It's getting nice. It's like 102 today, so we're really excited about that. It's going to be in the 90s. It's going to be like fall tomorrow.
Wow. Wonderful. Well, enjoy the break in the heat.
We might even have clear skies to see the comet tonight, finally. So.
Nice.
Monsoon season.
All right, well, it's off to you.
I'm sorry. That's the best introduction in a long time. So, yeah, well, I do want to introduce my band, Pam Rossiter. We've got a name now. We've decided to call ourselves Rattlesnake Ate My Sandals.
You didn't know that.
What do you think? So, when life gets a little weird and even crazier than usual, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I need my mommy. So we're going to sing a song about my mom tonight, and this song goes way back. Many of you, certainly the older folks, know my mother Bertie Rossiter and my dad Tom Rossiter. They settled and retired in Jackson, God, long time ago, and they loved the place and they loved their friends. So starting about 2005, we started writing a song for my mom, and when I say we, I mean the whole family, and brothers and sisters and wives and ex-wives and you name it. We were all writing this song, and we kept adding on to it over the years as the adventures continued, and changed the words around as situations changed, and wrote our last verse last year when we played this song at my mom's memorial service. So this is a song for my mom and her dog and our family and all of Jackson Hole. You might even hear references to the Hootenanny in there, and you might even hear a few names for a few people that are here tonight. So I want you to sing along with us. Pam's going to be helping me on the chorus, so you can sing with her. So in case Amy switches to everybody on gallery mode, I want to see you all singing, okay?
Just in case.
Just in case. So this is a song. It's a takeoff of an old mountain song called Down the Old Plank Road. And my mom spent her last 15 years basically driving up to the bottom of the old pass road with her dog, going for a walk, usually without a leash, because back then, as long as your dog behaved, that's what we could do on the old pass road most of the time. So that's what this is all about. Well, Dinah, you're a good old girl. Dinah, you're all right. Dinah, jump into the van. You're gonna be a sight. Out where you can see the sun and where the walking's slow. We'll leave the leash and take a bag, head up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. We'll leave the leash and take a bag, head up the old pass road. Well, Pam, get the word out quick. We're meeting down at the Hoot, we're gonna sing a pick. Don't need to practice, we'll hit every word and note. We'll hoot and howl and yodel up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. We'll hoot and howl and yodel up the old pass road. Well, I worked all day, all strapped in, trying to figure out what's said. I'd like to know what's real and what's just in my head. After all the delays and ready to land that load, we'll throw Mom's dog into the van, head up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. We'll throw Mom's dog into the van, head up the old pass road. Well, Ben and Steph, the grandkids, they sing so good together. Bobby always makes me laugh, Sylvia makes him better. Amy's got a sweet new one about her cowboy-o. And Rory's only Jess's man up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. And Rory's only Jess's man up the old pass road. Well, Birdie's up the old pass road, kinda sitting on her ass. Looks like her summer's ended, dog knocked her in the grass. Better call the ambulance, that knee won't carry her load. Pick her up, throw her in, take her down the old pass road. Take her down, take her down the old pass road. Pick her up, throw her in, take her down the old pass road. Well, Birdie was approaching 80, but her spirit stayed quite perky. We all took good care of her. We all think you're worthy. Mom kept her strength. She was ready to end that episode. The next summer, she came roaring back up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. The next summer, she came roaring back up the old pass road. Well, Birdie, you a good old gal. Birdie, you're all right. Birdie opened up Circle Shoe. We're coming down tonight. We'll gather in the mountains and remember with this ode. And we'll leave the leash and take a bag, head up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. We'll leave the leash and take a bag, head up the old pass road. Heading up the old pass road. We'll leave the leash and take a bag, head up the old pass road. Thank y'all. That was fun.
Yay! Thank you. Pam, it's so nice to be able to hear you sing above the sound of my accordion. I can't usually hear you. I can't usually hear anything. So it's nice to have you highlighted tonight. That's a great one.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Up next, we have Lynn Perzak and Bob Farley, also known as Raggedy Edge. And so, Lynn and Bob, where are you joining us from?
Oh, so sorry.
There you are. No, you're all good now. I was trying to figure out how to unmute you.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. But hey, we're living in Dayton, Ohio right now, and trying to leave. So we're trying to get west, not that far west, but one of these days we'll be close enough to get in the car and visit without driving for 4 days, or however long it would be. But anyway, we are Raggedy Edge, and we've got a Raggedy Edge song tonight. I'll let Bob tell you about it.
We don't think that we've done it here before, but if we have, we were going to do it again. Because it's a song, because of the comet, the Neowise up to the northwest, and we've got in the south like 4 planets and the 4 moons of Jupiter visible with if you're anywhere but Ohio, because of the overcast and whatnot. This is a song that talks about that, and it talks about some people in Los Angeles one time in 1994. Los Angeles, as you might imagine, doesn't get to see the Milky Way very often, and in fact ever, probably. And they saw it this one night that there was a blackout, and people got scared, and we'll tell you what happened. Well, in my younger days, we'd set the telescope out on the ground, gaze up at the Milky Way and the planets all around. We knew the names of the stars and the moons and where they could be found. So we could watch the stars as the heavens turn around us. We could watch the stars until our dreams come home to find us. We could watch the stars and burning trails across the sky. We could watch the stars in their never-ending night. We could watch the stars. Nowadays the cities send the haze into the night. It's hard to find a place to stay where the skies are not too bright. You got to get into the wilderness to see all the starlight. So we could watch the stars until our dreams come home to find us. We could watch the stars as the heavens turn around us. We could watch the stars, trails burning across the sky. We could watch the stars in their never-ending night. We could watch the stars. The stars as the heavens turn around us. We could make them ours until our dreams come home to find us. We could watch how far trails are burning across the sky. We could be a part of their never-ending night. We could watch the stars. We could watch the stars. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raggedy Edge, Lynn, and Bob. Wonderful. I think there's some folks among this audience who really appreciate the astronomy nature of that song as well. So thank you for making it very current eventy and place-based. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It's all a true story. All a true story, yeah.
Wonderful. Up next, we have Mr. Don Wade. Don is coming to us from New York City, I believe, Jackson Heights. He knows Adrienne Ward from way back, and he says, I'm about her age and sing about as well as she does. He's enjoyed watching the virtual Hoots as they've come, and we're excited to have him here. Don, take it away.
Okay, here's another Western song that's sort of on the lines of what Adrienne sang 2 weeks ago, I think it was. This is by Bruce Phillips, and it mentions a couple of things. Mentions an old woman, which is a derogatory term for the cook, because the subject of this song is not suited to be anything but the cook, and when you retire to being the cook. And the title is The Goodnight Loving Trail. It has nothing to do with matrimony or loving or anything. You guys probably know this anyway. But Charles Goodnight and Oliver Loving put in a trail to bring cattle to the railhead. And that trail was called the Goodnight Loving Trail. And Bruce used it as the name of this song, and it's part of the chorus and so forth. Too old to wrangle or ride on the swing, you beat the triangle and curse everything. If dirt was a kingdom, then you'd be the king. On the Goodnight Trail, on the Loving Trail. Our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French harp blows like the low-ballin' calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. With your snake oil and herbs and your liniments too, you can do anything that a doctor can do, except find a cure for your own goddamn stew. On the goodnight trail, on the loving trail, our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French harp blows like a low-ballin' calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. The campfire's gone out and the coffee's all gone. The boys are all up and they're raising the dawn. But you're still sitting there lost in a song. On the goodnight trail, on the loving trail. Our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French harp blows like a low-ballin' calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. But I know that someday I'll be just the same, wearing an apron instead of a name. There's nothing can change it, there's no one to blame. For the desert's a book writ in lizards and sage. It's easy to look like an old torn out page, tattered and worn with the colors of age. On the goodnight trail, on the loving trail, our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French harp blows like the low-ballin' calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light.
Wonderful, Don. Thank you so much for joining us. That was wonderful. Next up, we have Mr. Byron Timingus. One of these days, we're going to get Byron to host one of these virtual things. As it is, we will, I guess, have to settle for him just playing his incredible guitar. Excited to have you here, Byron. Those look like some gorgeous mountains behind you. What's going on there?
Oh, that's Crystal Creek down there in the canyon.
Yep.
So if you go all the way out Slide Lake and through that and through the canyon and come out the other side, there's Crystal Creek. And there's a trail that goes up through there. If you do that trail, don't do the left one, because it's a sheer drop sliding off through sheer gravel, and it isn't well maintained. It goes right down into the creek about 100, 200 yards down. So it'd be a really bad fall. Anyway, cross the creek, go on the other side, go through the timber. Better. Anyway, you know, I get a kick out of all these songs, you know, because when you're young, a song is, it's where you want to be. You're looking to the future. It's who you want to be, how you want to be, that type of thing. It's your love, your current, oh my gosh, oh my. But you know, I've noticed that for the rest, at a certain point, what it becomes is a time machine that takes us back to those moments. And so I enjoyed watching your dad, in fact, because, you know, it takes him back to his mom. And then earlier than that, there was a couple of others. You could see him just go back in that time machine of music. Wonderful stuff. So let's see. So I'm going to do something for my grandmother. I always liked looking at music from a different era and trying to realize that it was written by young people who were in their late teens and early 20s and maybe 30s. It was their music and their style. And in the 1920s, when my grandmother was starting to have her children, and you know, they were facing a difficult time too. Now, the 20s, they had not only the economic collapse, but they also had the drought. So they had all the food went out the door too. So anyway, so I'm going to do a song for my mother, my grandmother, Ethel Mays, And Ethel was a flapper, if you know what that is. That was the fringy dresses and the little caps and the Roaring Twenties. This is one of those songs.
Amazing and wonderful, Byron. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a great era. It was a great era.
Oh man, thank you, Byron, bringing it back. Heck yeah. Michael Fullerton says he's really excited. He doesn't have to follow you. The person who does get the pleasure of following Byron this evening is Mrs. Sally McCullough, who arguably is the only person who can top him. So I really feel like, you know, we're going somewhere here.
Yeah, right.
Sally, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I know. I love that. I saw that I draw the coveted spot that follows Byron. But I don't do anything like him, so, you know.
There you go.
There's no comparison to Byron.
You either. No comparison to Sally either, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, I'm doing a new song tonight that I just learned on Saturday. So if I mess it up, oh well, you know. It's a good place to try it, but this is a Jim Lauderdale song, and I couldn't really find much on it. I had to type up all the lyrics and figure out the chords. I don't know if I have them right, but we'll give it a go. And I don't think it takes much to figure out the inspiration for this one, especially lately. So anyway, it's called "Why Does God Let That Happen?"
Why
turns to cruelty, some happiness then tragedy. The wolves are waiting at the door, and we don't need another war. Why does God let that happen? Is it all part of the plan? Why does God let that happen? Are we all in his hand? I don't know what to believe. Help me know what to believe. Thank you.
Amazing, Sally. So good.
Yeah, that's a touching one, huh?
Yeah, that'll get you.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Up next, we have Adrian and Peter Ward. They're known for playing extremely serious songs.
Right.
They don't like to have fun. They tend not to smile, so don't
Yeah,
expect any
right.
of those things. Please take it away, the extremely serious Adrian and Peter.
Hi. Tonight's song is called Rufus and Beverly. It was written by a fellow somewhere in the Pacific Northwest called Mark Graham. It was recorded by Byron Bowers, world's greatest auto harp player, and also a group called the Rude Girls, which I've never heard of. Mark Graham stole the tune from an old British seafaring song called Botany Bay. It's a very simple tune, and the song is a simple love story, and it's probably politically incorrect because it doesn't give full respect to some people's choice. But it's a love story, so. Rufus could play the piano. He drove an American car, worked 9 to sundown in an office downtown to save us from nuclear war. And Beverly came from Seattle, played the mouth harp quite well, so they say. She used to write songs in an old-timey style in hopes she could sell them someday. Chorus. Oh, tooralai, ooralai, ooralai. Tooralai, ooralai, tooralai, ooralai, ooralai. In hope she could sell them someday. Oh, Rufus and Bev became sweethearts. Nature could not be denied. They did the things lovers do under the covers, happy as clams at high tide. One morning said Rufus to Beverly, as they lay in the fondest embrace, dear, I have to confess, with some minor distress, there's an issue I fear we must face. Ah, tooralai, ooralai, ooralai. Tooralai, ooralai, hey. Tooralai, ooralai, ooralai. There's an issue we fear we must face. For this body you see here before you was once more like yours than like mine, and I sought the compliance of medical science to change to the sex masculine. And Beverly stared in amazement, said, Rufus, don't rue what what you've done. For I have surrendered a masculine gender for this other, more feminine one. A turrelai, orrelai, orrelai. Turrelai, orrelai. Turrelai, orrelai, orrelai. For this other, more feminine one. So the lovers went back to their passions. Their passions were scarcely diffused. And the knot they soon tied, although deep down inside they were ever so slightly confused. That's it.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Adrian and Peter. I really love the way you end that too. That was very appropriate for current conversations. Wonderful. Up next, we have Mr. Kevin Roach. Kevin has been playing the Hootenanny since like the early '90s in the pre-Snow King days, back when it was at Dornan's before it moved to Snow King, and then back to Dornan's. And he's been an absolute pleasure to have on our virtual Hoots. Kevin, welcome. How you doing out there?
I'm doing great. We're obviously pretty socially distant out here. But anyway, tonight I'm going to actually do a special request from my son Josh. This is a song was released by U2 on their last studio album, the Irish rock group, and but it's kind of timeless. It's as apropos today as it was its release a couple of years ago. It's called "There Is a Light." And when the terrors of the night come creeping into your day, and the world comes stealing children from your room, guard your innocence from hallucination, and know that darkness always gathers round the light. If there is a light we can't always see, there is a world we can't always be. If there is a dark we shouldn't doubt, there is a light, don't let it go out. And when the wind screams and shouts, and the sea is a dragon's tail, and the ship that stole your heart away sets sail, and all you've left is leaving, and all you've got is grieving, and all you know is needing, da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da. 'Cause this is a song for someone like me. If there's a light we can't always see, if there's a world we can't always be, there is a dark we shouldn't doubt, there is a light, don't let it go out. I know the world is done. But you don't have to be. I've got a question for the child in you before it leaves. Are you tough enough to be strong? Do you know your heart has its own mind? And thinking kind of wrong. If there is a light you can't always see, there is a world you can't always be. If there is a light we shouldn't have, there's a light, don't let it go out. If there is a light you can't always see, if there's a world we can't always be, if there is a dark we shouldn't doubt, there is a light, don't let it go out. There is a light, don't let it go out.
Thank you, Kevin. Absolutely wonderful. I love hearing new U2 songs too. That makes me happy. Up next, we have Miss Jenny Landgraf. Jenny achieved infamy last week while hosting the Jackson Hole Hootenanny. You might not have heard it, but at the very beginning, she said an extremely appropriate word. I won't repeat it here. The Hoot Board convened, and initially the Hoot Board was going to kick her out of the Hootenanny forever, but decided to be lenient and let her back in immediately. So here she is, the convicted bad word user. This is Miss Jenny Landgraf. Jenny, take it
away. The convicted F felon.
Oh,
fiddlesticks. This week, I am going to play a song written by Woody Guthrie with a couple of verses added that would be considered sort of lost verses. He didn't include them in any recordings that I know of that he did. Others have since then. And they pertain to a place that he lived in 1950 to 52 called Beach Haven in Brooklyn, New York. And his landlord, who you'll recognize in the song, was quite bigoted. And the whole development, I believe, was racially segregated. So they did not allow Black people to live there or even visit there, apparently. There was one story that said that Woody got in trouble for having a Black musician visiting his apartment. Anyway, it's called I Ain't Got No Home in This World Anymore. Rich man took my home and drove me from my door, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Was farming on the shares and always I was poor. My crops I lay
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. The infamous Jenny Landgraf, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, we have Mr. Michael Fullerton. Michael, I believe, is calling in from Calais, Vermont. He played at the Hoot, I believe, 6 or 7 times in the past, but he's been on fairly frequently as we've gone to this virtual format. Played some wonderful songs for us, both about Vermont and Wyoming, and happy to have him back. Michael, take it away.
All right. It's a lot easier to play on the Hoot than it is to drive to the Hoot from Vermont. I noticed somebody said it was down to 90 degrees in Tucson. I'm kind of interested to know that it was up to 90 degrees here in Vermont today. This is a therapeutic thing for me because I'm trying to cure an earworm. And if you don't know what that is, an earworm is a tune that pops into your head from nowhere and you have no idea where it came from or why it came there. And it won't go away. And the only way to get rid of it is to learn the damn tune and play it in a session somewhere. So you are the lucky people that get stuck with the session. This is a song by Ian Tyson. And I heard it the first time many, many years ago at a 4th of July celebration in Wilson. I was out there visiting my friends who lived there. And Ian Tyson and his band played. And the fun part of it was that before the performance, he was arrested and charged with DUI, and they locked him up. So the producer of the program had to go and bail him out. So he played, and then the next year I was out there, and he was playing again. And he billed the whole thing as the first annual Ian Tyson incarceration celebration. So here it is. Coyote House survivor, I reckon he has to be. He lives in the snow 40 below or in Malibu by the sea. I'm just an old cowpuncher, I love listening to his tune. I get high on a bottle of rye, Kyle gets drunk on the well, the cowboy, he's a conundrum, contradiction in this age. Says he's doing fine at the minimum time with a working cowboy's wage. Whiskey bottle costs 13 bucks, but the big prairie moon is free. So who is the dumber son of a bitch, the little coyote or me? Coyote, he's a survivor, I reckon he has to be. Lives in the snow at 40 below or in Malibu by the sea. I'm just an old cowpuncher, I love listening to his tune. I get high on a bottle of rye, Kyle gets drunk on the brew. So in thoughts of reincarnation, I drifted off to dream. I made my life with a coyote wife, bushy-tailed coyote queen. Way down there in the valley, at the old Long New Saloon. Cowboy got high on a bottle of rye, I got drunk on the moon. Coyote, he's a survivor, well I reckon he's got to be. Lives in the snow at 40 below or Malibu by the sea. I'm just an old cowpuncher, I love listening to his tune. I get high on a bottle of rye, Coyote gets drunk on the moon. I get high on a bottle of rye, Coyote gets drunk on the moon. Ian Tyson, a certified drunk.
Thank you, Michael. That was wonderful.
It was fun.
Best of luck curing your earworm.
Yes, I hope so.
I hadn't heard of that word before. I was worried that you actually had a worm in your ear, which gave me the shudders. But this is a much more benign version of that.
It's almost as bad.
I know what it's like. I work at a marine science summer camp, and a couple years ago, Baby Shark was a really popular song, and that one really stuck with me. Tough one to
For
get
you.
Thank you so much, Michael. And
All
now I'm going to introduce Clint, who is going to introduce our next performer. Clint.
Here I am. Thank you. I wanted to introduce Emily because this is her first solo performance here. She sang with me, I think, 3 weeks ago. She was kind enough to sing harmony on a John Prine song, and she's so good, and I want to be associated with her in any way I can, even if it's an introduction. Anyway, hey Emily. So anyway, Emily I've known since she was about 5 years old. Just got a great voice, as you're going to hear. She is a terrific pianist. She studied opera in her freshman and senior years in college, and which I think is shown by the terrific vocal technique she has. And she asked what she should play tonight, and since this is her first time, and I suggested this song because I thought I've heard her do it before, and she does it really well. And I thought it's not folky, but it's really appropriate in the time of COVID. So Emily, you're on.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Clint. Clint is such a good friend of mine. It was so good to play with him back in Sacramento like 4 weeks ago, and we like to work on music, so it's really cool how he introduces me to a lot of songs I hadn't known otherwise, and he used to have this yearly party in New Year's, and we would just all get together and sing. And anyways, this is Ave Maria, and it is by Schubert, and it's a good one in these times. There are a lot of people who have passed away, and this piece of music just makes me feel kind of calm when I'm listening to it, which is nice during this time.
That was beautiful, Emily. Multiple people in the chat were brought to tears, goosebumps, all of those. So thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing something different too. Sometimes we get so caught up by just playing guitar and singing. It's so good to hear some other things going on. So thank you very, very, very much. Excuse me. Up next, we have Mr. Michael Herscher, I believe. Michael is coming to us from Sacramento, California. He is also a friend of Clint's. He's sung in a Latino choir. He's led he's led services at a Jewish congregation, and sing-alongs with elementary schools, with kids, with the elderly. And he was encouraged by Clint to join the Hoot, and really, really excited to have him here. He's got a beautiful voice, and he'll show that off in a second. Mike, take it away.
Why, thank you. So I'm in Sacramento, and I'm going to sing a song that was written by Gordon Lightfoot back in the 60s. And Gordon Lightfoot is a Canadian folk singer and songwriter who's still touring now. He's like 82 years old, but he's still out there roaming around the country. And he wrote this song. This song's called Early Morning Rain. And he wrote it back in the early 60s when he had just kind of made his way from Canada down to Los Angeles, and he was living there. He was in his early 20s, and he had his small child that he took care of, and he was feeling pretty homesick. He used to go out to LA International Airport and just watch the planes take off and wonder where they were going. And it's kind of a song that is it's a song about being cold and drunk and alone and sad and watching these planes take off. And it's in a kind of a genre of hobo songs that, you know, came out of the 30s and 40s, particularly with Woody Guthrie and the Dust Bowl. And I've been thinking a lot about people who are just out there on the road and who are alone, and especially in time of with the COVID virus, so many people feel isolated and without anybody. So this song is a kind of a sad song. In the early morning rain, with $1 in my hand and an aching in my heart, and my pockets full of sand. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved ones so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go, out on runway number 9, big 707 set to go. But I'm stuck here in the grass, where the cold wind blows. Now the liquor tasted good, and the women all were fast. Well, there she goes, my friend. She's rolling down at last. Hear the mighty engines roar, see the silver bird on high. She's away and westward bound, far above the clouds she'll fly, where the morning rain don't fall and the sun always shines. She'll be flying over my home in about 3 hours' time. This old airport's got me down. It's no earthly good to me, 'cause I'm stuck here on the ground, cold and drunk as I can be. You can't jump a jet plane like you can a freight train. So I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. You can't jump a jet plane like you can an old freight train. So I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. So I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. That was beautiful. That song seems to come up a lot these days. And I love hearing it on the Hootenanny. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Eric Stone coming to us, I believe, from Nederland, Colorado. Eric used to be a member of the Teton tribe up here, but made his way down to Colorado and resides there now. And excited to have him back for another round. Eric, how you doing?
Great. It's great to hear you. Michael, I enjoyed playing lead along with you on that last song too. You have me unmuted? I'm good to go? All right. I'm going to make this a musically dense thing and not talk a whole lot. This is a seasonal song that seems just right for these dog days of summer. This is an old David Mallet tune called Haying Song. When the raspberries burst from the woodbine and summer lies close to the ground, and the front porch is a good place for young boys to sleep, the brook in the hollow dies down. Then with straw hats and wagons and horses, like young Tim and tired old Dan, we head for the field to the creak of the wheel, the pitchfork that blisters your hands. And you have to make hay when the sun shines. That's what all the hill people say. You just keep your load wide, keep an eye on the sky, and make sure it's dry when you put it away. I remember the chaff on the back of my neck, the cool at the edge of the trees, where we'd rest for a time, talk about the weather, drink from the spring, and get mud on your knees. Then it's back to the wagon, back to the mow. 6 loads in and 8 more to go. And there's biscuits and beans at the late supper meal, and there's nothing like beans when you're working, you know. And you have to make hay when the sun shines. That's what all the hill people say. You just keep your load wide, keep an eye on the sky, and make sure it's dry when you put it away. Clover and killdeer. It's the time when the earth does her best. It's when all men are strong, the work days are long, and you know when to rise and you know when to rest. And in the cool of the evening, I'd perch on the load and let the wagon wind blow through my hair. And I'd talk to the moon and count off the stars and sing to myself in the sweet summer air. Hang on at the corners, duck from the branches, and sing to myself in the sweet summer air. Oh, you have to make hay when the sun shines. That's what all the hill people say. You just keep your load wide, keep an eye on the sky. Make sure it's dry when you put it away. Oh, you have to make hay when the sun shines. That's what all the hill people say. You just keep your load wide, keep an eye on the sky. And make sure it's dry when you put it away. Thank you much.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Appreciate it. That was wonderful. Up next, we have Mr. Jim Curran. Jim tends to play from the houses he's painting in. I'm curious where you're joining us from tonight, Jim.
You know, no one guessed it last week, but I'm in the same spot. And it's a building that has sort of a bunch of walls that don't generally need to be repainted. Oh.
Huh.
There's a red herring if I ever heard one. Part of the building is red, too.
Oh, are you in the Center for the Arts right now?
You got it. Congratulations there, my son. Have another beer.
Yes.
Good guess. It wasn't guessed last week, I don't think. I was in this. Oh. Excellent. I knew if I gave a follow-up clue or two, it could probably be revealed. It's not like I want to keep it a big secret, you know, but it's good to be a little bit mysterious, right? So, let's see. Should I do the first song that popped into my head today, or I just changed when I heard Eric sing because he put me in another mood, you know? I don't know. Well, I'm going to do this one because the first one popped into my head today, and I was kind of like thinking that it's one we've done at the Hoot with various folks. Are we still good sound-wise? I kind of moved things around a little bit. Are we good? Okay. Every time it rains, Lord, look out the window. All I can do is hang my head and moan. Well, Wolf is scratching at the door. Hear that lonesome wind moan. Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Well, tell me, baby, now why I been gone? Why I been gone so long now? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Well, Wolf is scratching at the door. Hear that lonesome wind moan. Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Folks, they said they seen ya running down in Reno. Big old man from San Antonio. Well, now folks say I'm a fool to pine for you, but what do they know? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone? Why I been gone so long now? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Well, Wolf is scratching at the door. Hear that lonesome wind moan. Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Of course, this would be a break time for Chris or you, Ben, or whoever. You know, you'd be just ripping through it, but we'll just go on to another verse. Ain't got nothing to do. Guess I could get stoned. Let the past paint pictures in my mind. Drink a fifth of Thunderbird. Write another sad song. Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Oh, well, tell me, baby, now why I been gone? Why I been gone so long now? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Well, wolf is scratching at the door. Hear the lonesome wind moan. Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why I been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why? Oh, why, oh, why? Why I been gone so long? I miss the band.
Thank you, Jim. I do recall taking a break on that. In fact, I think I recall taking a break and then Chris like forcibly shoving me out of the way for his break. So.
Oh, I'm sure that happened, and that's a good show when it happens.
Oh gosh. Yes.
I mean, it may be a little uncomfortable when you're on stage and it happens, but it's entertaining.
You just got to go with it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. All right. Thanks for hosting.
Thank you, Jim.
I wanted to answer the question, why you've been gone for so long. And that's because of coronavirus.
Well, yeah, that would kind of answer it for right now. We won't be gone forever, though.
No, just
we know that.
That's right.
It is.
That's
and temporary is like, in human terms, is a long time. In the big time, it's a blip.
That's right.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind.
Thanks, Jim. All right, up next, our bud Charlie, hailing from Middleton, Massachusetts. I'm sure it's extra swampy there right now.
I don't think he's in Middleton right now.
Where are you?
I'm in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Is it swampy there?
It is not too swampy, but it is very beautiful.
It looks so beautiful. There's aspens out the back or some big...
Yeah, there are some aspens and maples.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hosting tonight. I'm going to play a song that I almost always screw up the lyrics to. It's a Steel Drivers song. So if you know the lyrics, you can go ahead and make fun of me as I screw them up. Never would have hitchhiked to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have took the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain. $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love. Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. Would have been moving like a wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain. $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love. For coals against my will, least I know she's lying still. For coals without parole, least I know she's lying still. There it is. Never would have gone to that side of town if it hadn't been for love. Never would have took a minor tractor down if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44, put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. For coals without parole, Lord, hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have took a train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain. $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love.
Ow, ow! I did not hear any mess ups in song lyrics. That was freaking awesome, Charlie.
Yeah, there weren't any, flipped choruses or botched verses at all, I'm sure.
None of that. None of that now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Charlie. Enjoy your time with fam in the Yupa. So that reaches the end of our lineup, but gosh, it's only 7:26, so we are going to do it again. Before we do, I just want to give a few shout outs from folks that have been commenting in the YouTube chat. We've got Susan from Oregon. We've got Peggy. We've got Deborah from Minneapolis. Pam Rossiter. I don't know who that is, but she seems important somehow. Who else do we have there? Oh, shout out to Master Matt Montaigne. We miss you. Hope you join us again soon. Same goes for Miss Hannah McLymans. Get that fiddle out. Come on. Take a break, Hannah. Come on. And all the others. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are going to go around, not everybody, but we've got at least 6 of these folks coming up again. The first of which we're going to bring back is Mr. David Rossiter. David, take it away.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. I asked Pam if she wanted to play with me on this one, and she ran out of the room. So you're stuck with just me. So when I first started playing folk songs, way back in the 70s, you weren't cool unless you played really, really old folk songs. And if it was a song that was made popular by one of the popular folkies of the day, which actually preceded me, people like the Kingston Trio or the Peter, Paul and Mary, people like that, you always had to play an earlier version than they played. It was you had to be cool. So I learned this version, originally learned the Kingston Trio version, then I learned the original Woody Guthrie version from an old Cisco Houston record. So you gotta play the early one here if you're gonna be a real cool folky. Cool and folky hardly ever go together, but there you are. So this is the original Cisco Houston Woody Guthrie version of Reuben James. Have you heard of the ship called the Good Reuben James? Manned by hard-fighting men of both honor and faith. She flew the stars and stripes of the land of the free, but tonight she's in her grave at the bottom of the sea. What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? The men that went down on the Good Reuben James. Well, 100 men went down in that dark, watery grave. When that good ship went down, only 44 were saved. It was the last day of October when we saved the 44 from the cold ocean waters of that North Iceland shore. What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? The men that went down on the Good Reuben James. It was there in the dark on that uncertain night that we watched for the U-boats and we waited for a fight. Then a whine and a rock and a great explosion roared, and they laid the Reuben James on that cold ocean floor. What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? The men that went down on the Good Reuben James. Now tonight there are lights in our country so bright. In the farms and the cities they are telling of this fight. And now the mighty battleships will steam the bounding main and remember the name of the good Reuben James. What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? Did you have a friend on the good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? The men that went down on the good Reuben James. Well, many years have passed since those brave men have gone. Those cold, icy waters, they're still and they're calm. Well, many years have passed, but I still wonder why the worst of men must fight and the best of men must die. What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? Did you have a friend on the good Reuben James? What were their names? Tell me, what were their names? The men that went down on the good Reuben James. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rossiter, or Dad, as some people call you. Wonderful song and classic song that I remember you playing my entire life.
Yeah, we've been doing that a long time. You're right.
It has been.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Up next for another time around, we have Raggedy Edge. Take it away, Lynn and Bob.
Thanks loads. So this is a Bob Dylan tune. I think it's a little bit less well known than some of his songs. I don't know, maybe for this crowd everybody knows it. But anyway, it's called One More Cup of Coffee, Bob Dylan. Your breath is sweet, your eyes are like two jewels in the sky. Your back is straight, your hair is smooth on the pillow where you lie. But I don't sense affection, no gratitude, no love. Your loyalty's not to me, but to the stars above. One more cup of coffee for the road. One more cup of coffee for I go to the valley below. To the valley below. Your daddy, he's an outlaw, wanderer by trade. They teach you how to pick and choose and how to throw the blade. He oversees his kingdom, so no stranger does intrude. His voice, it trembles as he goes. Another plate of food. Now, one more cup of coffee for the road. Yeah, one more cup of coffee for I go to the valley below. To the valley below. Your sister sees the future like your mama and yourself. You never learn to read nor write. There are no books upon your shelf. Your pleasure knows no limits. Your voice is like a meadow lark. Your heart is like an ocean, mysterious and dark. Now, one more Thank you so much. Wonderful to be here as always.
Thank you so much, Raggedy Edge. That was so freaking good.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that kind of like double stop solo picking on the mandolin too. That's something to aim for. Wonderful. Thank you both so much. Let's see. Up next, we're gonna turn it back over to Don. Mr. Don Wade, take it away.
Sorry, I think I got the order wrong here. 1 second here while I get what's on the screen off here. I heard this song some 50 or so years ago from Bill Briggs, and I've probably heard some of the words wrong, so I apologize. And it's one of those songs that I've thought of over the years, and it always has been an interesting song, but as the years go by, it seems to mean more and more. I'm one of the has-beens, a climber, I mean. I used to climb easy, and I used to climb clean. I could tackle the toughest, I could show you just how. But you may not believe me, for I can't do it now. I'm as awkward as a new boy and used to the frown that the young climbers show me as I'm backing down. I've climbed with Fred Becky, Don Claude Leighton Core, the burly Charlie Wilson, the great Robbins Royale. I have climbed in Yosemite with the best they could find, and there's not one among them that could leave me behind. I'm as awkward as a new boy and used to the frown that the young climbers show me as I'm backing down. But it's no use complaining, I'll never say die. Though the days of good climbing have all passed me by, I'll take the climbs easy, climb slowly and clean. And I merely have told you just what I have been. I'm as awkward as a new boy and used to the frown that the young climbers show me as I'm backing down. That the young climbers show me as I'm backing down.
Wonderful, Don. Thank you so much.
That's a parody, I guess it's a parody, a rewriting of an Australian sheep shearer song, which it follows very closely with the same sort of sentiments.
Absolutely, and I do recall Bill playing that at some point. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And also, it was my apologies. I messed up the order, so I apologize for springing that on you.
That's okay.
Up next, another person who I surprised the order on, but I think we're ready this time. Mrs. Sally McCullough again. Sally, take it away.
That's fine. I actually came after Don in the first round anyway, so I think you were correct. But anyway, this is the only happy song I know. Jenny always does all the funny songs and the political songs, but this is a happy song, and I'd like to dedicate it to the current administration in D.C. So it's a Lori McKenna song. I love her, and Haley Witters. So it's called Happy People. Happy people don't cheat. Happy people don't lie. They don't judge or hold a grudge. They don't criticize. Happy people don't hate. Happy people don't steal. All the hurt you ain't worth the guilt they feel. If you want to know the secret, you can't buy, you gotta make it. You ain't ever gonna be it by taking someone else's away. Never take it for granted. You don't have to understand it. Here's to whatever puts a smile on your face. makes you happy, people? Little blip there. Happy people don't fail. Happy people just learn. They don't think they're above the push or shove. They just wait their turn. And they always got a hand or a dollar to spare. They know the golden rule and what you're going through, even if they've never been there. If you want to know the secret, you can't buy, you gotta make it. You ain't ever gonna be it by taking someone else's away. Never take it for granted. You don't have to understand it. Here's to whatever puts a smile on your face. Whatever makes you happy, people. Well, these days ain't so easy to find. They're the ones that you want standing by your side. There's no time for greed, so if they need some, give them a slice. And we'll all be happy people. Happy people. Yeah, we'll all be happy people. Yeah, we'll all be happy people. Well, life is short and love is rare, and we all deserve to be happy while we're here. There you go. Thank you.
Yay, Sally. Very,
My
very
turn.
happy song.
My turn to
Your turn.
introduce
Amy's turn.
Peter and Adrian. Ben already gave you a really great introduction earlier, and I didn't have much else to say other than it's always a nonstop thrill ride listening to you play. So
No, Ben and Amy, I got good.
off to you for number 2.
Ow, ow!
I got good news for you. Out of the Lucas cabin, there's this great.
But I
big
do think you might be
barn.
muted still.
We can't hear you.
I say. Are you getting it yet? Yeah, others are hearing it.
Oh no.
Oh, apologies. Yes, go ahead.
Got it. Anyway,
Oh,
I'm
have our
saying
volume down.
I've got really good news for Ben and Amy, because out at Lucas Cabins, there's this great big marmot that loves the sun and the sun out there. So you need to run out and sign him up for your band right away. So this song is a sea shanty that was written down as sheet music in 1866. So I don't know when it got started, but it's about the Eddystone Light, and many of you hope know it. But the Eddystone Light was a lighthouse that was built in 1698, and it's the first open ocean lighthouse. It's way the heck out in the middle of nowhere. The reef is 12 miles south of Plymouth Sound in southwesternmost England and was a very important naval base. But the Eddystone Light is just this little thing sticking up in the middle of nowhere, and it gets pretty lonely out there. This song was popularized by Burl Ives in the 1950s, sung by the Weavers, the Brothers Four, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and many others. I first started singing it in 1960, just 60 years ago. Well, my father was the keeper of the Eddystone Light, and he slept with a mermaid one fine night. Out of this union there came 3, a porpoise and a porgy, and the other was me. Yo-ho-ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for the life of the rolling sea. One night as I was fishing in the glim, singing a verse of the evening hymn, a voice from the starboard shouted, ahoy! There was me there sitting on a buoy. Yo-ho-ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for the life of the rolling sea. Oh, what has become of me brothers 3? Me mother, she then asked of me. One was exhibited as a talking fish, the other was served in a chafing dish. Yo-ho-ho, wind blows free. Oh, for the life of the rolling sea. Then the phosphorus flashed in her seaweed hair. I looked again and me mother wasn't there. But her voice came echoing out of the night. To hell with the keeper of the Yellowstone light. Yo ho ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for the life of the rolling sea.
Yay! Yo ho ho, love it. So for our last performance tonight, before we close out the evening, I want to bring back Emily. She gave us a beautiful rendition of Ave Maria, and we're really, really excited to have her play another song for us tonight. And I think she's getting set up and ready to go. Emily, you all set? Ready to take it away?
I think so.
Wonderful.
Oh, good. That was a fun one. I really like that. This one is called A Soft Place to Fall, and it's by Allison Moore, and it was co-written by another guy. I think it's Gil Owens, and it was in The Horse Whisperer. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but it was really beautiful. And my mom always wanted me to do this one, so and I fell in love with it too, just from the Horse Whisperer soundtrack.
absolutely wonderful.
Thanks.
Kind of feel like we should just end it there. Absolutely wonderful, Emily. As Clint just said, once we start up live again, you gotta get out here. And Clint says he'll pay for your ticket, so you gotta hold him to that one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so down.
Also, I'm wearing the same exact outfit as you right now.
You can't go wrong with black top and blue jeans.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, wonderful. Thanks everyone who's stuck in there this long. Amy and I are gonna close out the evening with a Mandolin Orange song called "Hey Stranger." We haven't played this much, so we will see how it goes.
Hey strangers, danger down the line. You'll find heartache and trouble in all your good time rowdy ways. Tell you no lie, there's no burden greater in life. Soon as you pick yourself up just to say hey to your loved ones, I'll turn away. Don't go living with trouble in mind. There's no burden greater in life. Hey stranger, if ever you decide giving in to the bottom leaves you worried mind, heavy heart, you'll see in time there's no burden greater in life. Soon as you pick yourself up just to go home to your loved ones, find a locked door. Don't go making mistakes like mine.